you are wherever you are, wherever you go, you're there, was the saying. I can't remember. I can't remember, but wherever you go, there you are, something like that. But we used to have those regularly in the mornings, every morning. It was constantly always, learning his teachings. Now, I had been watching Eligio, Nature Boy, for 6 months. So I basically was at a point where all of his information I had already listened and, I knew everything already. So I was at a point of, okay, there's nothing new. So what's new? So he didn't like when you were not watching videos like everybody else, like if we get up in the mornings, you had some people that would be like watching his videos and some people, doing something else. He did not like that. He'll call you out. We're here to learn, and it's always an issue if you're not doing what everybody else is doing. It got to a point where I kept on being called out, because apparently he felt like I wasn't doing enough. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Like as far as like the regular stuff, cleaning up, what the women do, I feel like I've been doing that. But, honestly, I feel like it was always like competition with the other women that were there. At the time, it was just 3 of us. So it wasn't, the connection and energy was never there, because he used to call me out on that. Why you always the only one that's always, by yourself or doing something different? I'm like, I don't know. I can't help it. I don't, I never felt like I really connected and bonded with, the other females, the other women that were there, to be honest. A couple of the guys, every now and then I'll chit chat with them. It got to a point, just the constant being called out, and I just felt like I was in a state of, okay, I was uncertain, like, okay, well, what am I still doing here? Like, what? I don't know if it's because I wasn't, like kissing his ass or whatever, because I don't do that, so it was a problem. So from what, then this is when everything arises. Everything starts to kind of get crazy, because when we get into Trujillo, I know that I made a statement, because I guess some people were leaving, but Nature Boy wanted everybody to leave. And I made a statement like, well, some people, some of us got to stay because, the food is coming. So supposedly, basically, we didn't get to eat. The people that wasn't willing to ride to go to get the chessboard basically didn't get to eat. We didn't get to eat because we didn't want to go. Next thing I know, I get called out of the room, and we're having basically a session. It's like an interrogation. I'm being interrogated by Nature Boy, okay, asking a whole bunch of questions, and then everybody else is just standing around looking like they're in a gaze under the spell. And I think at this point I was out of, like, I was back into myself. I feel like, as far as the spell, he was casting spells. I was under the spell. I do recall when he called me and was interrogating me, everybody's just standing around. I remember him asking a whole bunch of questions. Why are you here? Like, we don't want you here. And I remember him asking everybody else, like, what do they think? Asking them, what have I done? Have I done anything? And I'm, nobody, like,
come over here,
defended me or said anything, like, and I was like, so y'all really gonna let him, like, he just made it seem like I was not doing anything. And in my mind, I felt like, okay, so because I'm not sleeping with you or anybody, is that not doing anything? Like, what exactly are you talking about? So I remember he was trying to get feedback. Nobody said anything, though, because he's like, well, what has she done? He went to each person. Well, what has she done? What has she done? Nobody, like, came to back for me. And I just felt, that night I cried. I felt so hurt. I was in a point of confusion, not knowing what to do. Like, should I leave? Should I stay? But I do remember that was the night, I shared the room with you. Thankfully, you allowed me to, stay with you in your room, because afterwards it was something else happened with, when he called you. which we talked about a little bit. He found your books, and there was a problem with it. You know, because the books weren't allowed, and you know, and then I just remembered the outrage as far as like when I was being interrogated. You know, I just remember looking in his eyes like, this is not the same person. This is a demon. Like, I don't know, Jose and Olmec. That's who stayed at the house. And then that's when I feel like our energies bonded, you know, like it's like the way he made his selections, you know, like there were some people that were more, like I said, people with different personalities. I didn't feel like I was, you know, since I didn't get picked to go anyway, because he already had a problem with me. I was like, okay, you know, I felt like I bonded with the people that just arrived. You know, okay, fine, you know, we're going to just have a good time. So we made the best of it, you know, it was cool. But this is when we kind of started putting our, you know, energy together, like, okay, what's really going on here? Even with like the things that we were being told, we were renting a house. So it was like, okay, what is the real plan, you know? Is this what we're doing? Are we supposed to be getting the land? You know, even with the diet. I know Monica was just like so big on like, you know, we're not really, the stuff he talks about, he's not really living by that, you know, so what's going on? So I do remember the day that it was, I can't remember how many people arrived, but Amun, Rael, YAH YAH, and a few other people arrived that day. I remember, wasn't there like a big discussion in the back room and everybody was just standing in a daze in the back room?
That was a different day. Was that the same day? Well, yeah, because when the people came, YAH YAH and the new people came, we went to the waterfall.
We went to the river.
And they were, in the back.
Yeah, and everybody was getting ready to go have dinner. They were going to get ready to go eat. So, you know, while they were away, we already made our plans. Like, okay, we're trying to figure out, you know, when to go. Should we tell everyone that we're leaving, or should we just leave? You know, so we were like, okay, you know, I think we came to the conclusion that, okay, we're going to let them know. But I remember the discussion happening in the back room. I kept going in and out, and I was like, what is he talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? It just seemed so irrelevant to me, but everybody, you know, under the spell, just kind of standing there, you know, it was just like weird. But I remember as they were leaving out, I can't remember if it was who said what to him, but somebody told him, okay, we need to talk to you and everything. Everybody started getting into the van and everything, and he called everybody to come back. He made everybody come back. They're hungry, you know, and he made everybody come back and was like, okay, well, put us on the spot to let everybody know, you know, what we had to say. So, you know, we're just sitting there like, okay, so we need to, you know, in my mind, I was like, okay, so we need to tell everybody that we're leaving, okay? So fine. I remember my words were, okay, well, you know, I appreciate everything that you've done, but I feel like my journey ends here.
Everybody tell you that they are your higher self. First of all, everybody has intuition. Everybody has that shit. I don't care if you ain't got no water in your astrological energy. You know when you get bad vibes. We get bad vibes. We be knowing shit. Like, sometimes you be knowing shit without even knowing how you know shit. So don't let nobody tell you that they're your higher self. How the fuck is somebody your higher self when you have the ability to get a feeling? You have something inside of you that tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you should listen to. Don't let nobody trick you into believing that they're your higher self. How can somebody outside of you be your motherfucking higher self if you're the only one that exists? There's the holographic universe, right? If you're the only one that exists, how can somebody outside of you be your motherfucking higher self? Think about that shit. Like, don't just be letting no nigga sell you no motherfucking dream. Like, straight facts. Don't let nobody sell you no motherfucking dream. I'm trying to break spells, not only in me but in other people as well, because I see the bullshit. Like, I see everything for what it is.
Like first meeting him and dealing with him.
Yeah. I mean, like,
no. But me, I'm that chick. Huh?
No, go ahead.
Oh, chick that goes through your phone when you go to sleep. If it was in his past, that it was in his past. But I found out later on that it wasn't in his past. What I thought was going on wasn't what was going on, and so that's why it kind of missed me when I was looking. It was the trannies and trying to pass the trannies off as women. But I could always see through that thick ass skin, that is not a fucking female. That is a fucking male. I don't care how long his motherfucking hair is, how motherfucking long his nails, his fucking cake he bake on his motherfucking face. That's not a female.
At Fiery and YAH, and I didn't like that at all. I'm someone, I came from a lot of dysfunction and, you know, verbal abuse and mental abuse and things like that. So I know what it's about, and I didn't like that. I didn't like seeing my sisters going through that. And when I first got here, my Samsung phone had died. So, you know, I took it up the street to the mall. So I was, you know, I got dressed that day, and I'm like, you know, I'm telling them, I'll be back. I'm going to the mall. Do you guys want anything? Do you want to come? And blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, you want to ask Master Teacher if you could go. So in my mind, I'm like, ask him if I could go. I haven't asked permission in a long time. What? But I'm like, all right. So, mind you, this whole time, they're arguing in the other room, like heavy, like straight up going in, like disrespect and you so stupid and all of this. And so I'm sitting there, I'm looking around the room like, all right, so none of y'all brothers in here is gonna like go check him. Then I want to say Key came back like, oh, I knocked on the door and it's probably not the best time, and all it is. And so me, I'm like, well, I gotta go to the mall, and they want me to ask him for permission and let him know, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock on his door. Mind you, the whole time I'm listening to him go in on YAH and Fiery. So I'm like, any minute they about to let it out. Like any minute that Divine Feminine don't play that, they about to make it rain on this dude. I know that. Like any minute. That did not happen. It didn't happen. So I'm knocking on the door, and he's like, what? And in my head, I'm like, okay, so this is about to get real heavy, because you're not going to talk to me like that. But he opens the door, and he sees me, and he's like, oh, yeah, well, Peace Reflection, what's up? So I tell him I'm going to the mall. He's like, all right, you know, to go get my phone. He's like, all right, cool. And I was like, I'll be right back. He's like, all right, cool. So that was that. Mind you, the whole time, me and Nature Boy actually rocked, because when you take away the pride, when you take away the ego, when you take away all the extra melanation, rah-rah, Master Teacher shit, he's really like everybody else. He's really just like you. He's really like the dude you see at the bodega up the street. It's nothing, he's not Gandhi, like he's not Buddha, like he's just a regular person. So me and him, we was kikiing in the kitchen, because the person I rocked with wasn't Master Teacher. The person I rocked with was Eligio Bishop. Like, that was it. He liked the fact that I was from the tri-state too. I'm from Connecticut, and we just vibed in that way. So we in the kitchen kikiing, joking, vibing, talking and all of this stuff. And, you know, I'm getting side looks from everybody else, because they don't rock with him like that. It's so more like, yes, Master Teacher, sir. Or like, yes, okay, we do this, we do that. Not me. When I showed up, I was like, yo, what's up? Like, hey, you know, like, I was just being myself. So that's how we vibed. It was never like any subservient, submissive energy between me and him ever. So, you know, and I got a couple side eyes because of that. So that was our relationship. You know, and we had one-on-one conversations, and he was, you know, he was impressed with, you know, me showing my clairvoyance just like that, and me willing to sing. And I don't sing in front of nobody except for like church when I was a kid. So I sang for them, and I did my spoken word. So he was open to that, and he invited me and said, you know, you gonna be my right hand. Yeah, you coming with us. You my right hand. You gonna keep me on point. You're gonna give me insights. I know you know how to manifest. He's like, you could help me manifest a new vehicle. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. You know, I manifested my vehicle in Connecticut. That's nothing. That's light work. What's next? You know, and then he's like, you know, I was supposed to go with them to the jungle and all of this. But the whole time, I was talking in spirit. I was talking to Mama, like, you really want me here? Because I knew me meeting them, I had a job to do. Period. Like, me being in Costa Rica, I had a job to do. Me meeting Melanation, I had a job to do. I just didn't quite know what that job was, what it entailed, what was involved. So, I always kept that in the forefront in my mind. And, and as I'm walking to the mall after I'm witnessing, the argument and the verbal abuse and the just straight up abuse, I'm thinking like, okay, mama, like, this ain't for me. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, if you tell me to stay with these people, I'm going to stay with them. But if you tell me to leave, I'm out. Like, you just give me the go ahead. Like, you give me the signs and let me know what I'm supposed to do. Because I'm only going to follow source. I'm only going to follow spirit. I don't care what nobody else say. I follow mama. I follow God. That's it. So, like, by the end of that day, by the next day, I'm like, you know what? I just, I ain't feeling it. I don't want to be here. I just, nah, bruh. I don't like it. Plus, I don't like how the women are being treated. Like, if you pumping up the divine feminine, then you should have some divine feminine shot callers out here. And what it was when he met me, that was supposed to be me. How ironic is that? It was supposed to be me. And I was supposed to be, with the right hand, and I was in charge of the women and getting them all together. And, I hosted the live broadcast and whoop-de-woo and all of that. That's not important. But, so that's what it was. So on the last day, they had called a meeting. As soon as they called the meeting, I just knew, all right, they don't want you to go with them. And I was like, okay, but it's not Nature Boy. Nope, he in my corner. And I thought it was one of the women. I ended up being right. And I ended up being right on who exactly it was, too. And there's no need to say that, but no need to say the name. But I knew it was one of the women that didn't rock with me. And so as soon as they called the meeting, I'm like, okay, yeah, so this is good. And I'm like, thank you, mama, because you telling me, okay, I'm not supposed to be with them. Whatever my job was, I must have done it because they wrapping it up, right? So they giving me the meeting, and Nature Boy starts first, and he's like, yo, like, I fucks with you. Like, I fucks with you so heavy. He's like, I really, really, really want you to come with us. And then, and I was like, yeah, I understand. Like, it's nothing but love. I had already known I wasn't going with them. So I'm just sitting there like, all peace. Like, I'm going to respectfully listen to y'all talk because I really would like y'all insight. I really do like to hear the opinion of other people. Just let me just hear them out. So, and I smiled at him and I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's what's up. And so they went across the room. And I'm just listening to everybody. And Azul was the one that's like, yo, like, nah, she coming with us. She's dope as fuck. Like, y'all tripping. Like, what you mean? Like, she the realest out here. Like, so shout outs to Azul. And I always show him love because, he kept it real. He wasn't a yes man. He wasn't just going with what everybody else was saying. He was just like, nah, I fucks with her. And everybody else was going around and I'm just listening. And I'm like, wow, they don't even really know me. Like, for awakened beings, they can't identify who's in the room with them. They can't feel. You know what I'm saying? They don't know who I am. And if they really kind of stepped outside of themselves, they would kind of see me in a different light. And that, which always ends up happening later on, and when it's too late, when I'm like, nah, I'm good. So, so that's what that's about. And, I was hearing a few things like your vibe attracts your tribe. And in my head, I'm like, well, damn, baby. Like, well, your vibe attracts someone who abuses you. Like, that shit ain't cool, my love. Like, that shit ain't cool. And then even when I knocked on the door, you see the two women, Fiery and YAH YAH, huddled up, crying and faces red. And I'm just like, yo, I'm staring at them like, baby, blink twice, baby. That's all you gotta do. Just blink twice and I could help you. But it was just like this kind of like this shame about it. And, they didn't want my help, and, they put their heads down, they put their eyes down. They didn't want my help. So I'm just like, okay, you can't teach every lesson out here. Not every lesson is for you to teach. So, I backed off. And so, I took in consideration everything they said. And there was a few of them that just did not like me. And I remember Fiery saying, when Nature Boy is talking, you shut the fuck up. And in my head, I'm like, nah, baby, that's you. That's you. I walk in my power. I know who the fuck I am. I know what I got going on. Like, you can't just assume that I'm supposed to do that. Like, cause when I talk, my words have power. I know that for certain. Like, you stop talking so you could learn something. But again, I kept nothing but the love energy, and I kept sending it out to them, and I still send it out to them. Always send it out to them. Even when I left, there was a conversation that they had on how everyone who leaves Melanation, they always talk bad and negative, and they drag everybody's dirt in the name, and everybody's name in the dirt. Dang, everybody's name in the dirt. And me, I sat down with Nature Boy, and I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I have no purpose to do that.
For no longer than 4 hours at a time. Right. So by this time, I'm like, I'm not feeling well. I'm getting food aversions. Like, everybody's eating peanuts in the car. It's making me nauseous. He's like, you gotta stop being so weak-minded. I'm like, no. Pregnant women do have food aversions. That's practically normal. Either you have food cravings or you have food aversions. Some things make you nauseated. Some things make you really hungry. I can't stand the smell of peanuts, but I want peanut butter. Why is my son in there? I'm like, oh, but just the other day, it wasn't your, okay, whatever. So, then we proceed to drive to Atlanta, and this is the same man who says, you don't have any family in Babylon, you have to let them go, that's your lower self. He then proceeds to take us around and show us his friends, because he can still have friends in Babylon, right? Cool. He proceeds to show us his friends and his family, and there's this young lady, I don't know if you watched his Instagram live, named Aziza. Very beautiful young lady. With the little girl? No, she doesn't have a kid. Okay. Aziza is in Atlanta, and she's all of 24. I don't know. 20 something. Very, very mature for her age. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful spirit. Like, I have nothing to say about her. She's very intelligent and very beautiful.
Watch this.
And he then proceeds to tell me that basically he doesn't have theory as a direct, I'm sorry, I was going to the bathroom, he got up. He says that he doesn't have theory as a direct, he doesn't have POCAHONTAS as a direct, the only person that he wants is her. Oh, so I said, this is news to me, because I didn't, but in the back of my mind, I had already known that, something was up. Mm-hmm. So I proceed to come back from the bathroom, and I said, well, it's not fair that you can be polygamous when you feel like it, and you don't. I said, okay, well, sorry to disappoint you, but I just can't. I've been in a relationship with someone that I don't know, or a friendship. I have to take the time to cultivate a relationship with an individual. So you're saying he wanted that girl to be a part of the family now? Okay. And he was there, and he was, it was very interesting. You can tell they had chemistry between them, but as someone who you're pretty much forcing someone to accept a lifestyle that you accept. Because when I first got there, it was, I don't want anyone else but you. Then Felix got there, and then he wants to be polygamous. And then he told Aziza that the only reason that she's around is because she's pregnant. To my face. I said, strike.
Strike 3, you know what I mean? So, like I said, man, you see what we're dealing with? Devil, Satan, gay, homosexual, vagina envy. He is the abandoned guy, probably, he's an abandoned guy, which means he's going to have all the power. He's going to have all the detachment already in his genes, already in the fiber of his being. He's already got it in his head, the ability to abandon others because his own mother abandoned him. The only people that did anything good for him were gay men. And you can tell by how he speaks about his experience as a gay escort and a gay stripper. Another thing he speaks highly of, more highly than women, shout out to Tall Happy Colors, he speaks highly of leaves. that he can use to wipe his loose booty with when he puts his pot in the jungle. So those are the two only things I've seen his eyes light up a little bit when he talks about his kid. A little bit. He was mad when he's talking about fucking his wife or fucking his lady with his kid there. You call him gay, he gets extra pissed off and tough guy. He brings out that tough look that he probably used when he was a gay stripper. He brings out the tough look. Ain't nobody gay. I like pussy, nigga. I like pussy. Right? All an act. All of it is a sort of suspect. All of it is very gay. That he sort of minimizes and just sort of objectifies and pretty much sees them as pussy, not as human beings to respect. That's how devils act. That's how a lot of gay men act. You know what I'm saying? He was abandoned. He's gay, therefore may have vagina envy, and he could be he is abusive to women. This motherfucker was just jealous or mad at her because she was ready to eat a waffle, because a waffle's not part of nature. And then to turn around and be so disrespectful to the point where you sent pictures of yourself having sex with your wife to Queen Ashe Divine. And on top of that, in your wife's face, you told her you're not sure if that is even your kid. These women have been very kind. EJ, Omek, I think those two are going to be next to leave. But everybody's being sort of kind with this bitch-ass gay homeboy, LGBT warrior, gay Tyrese, Tyson buttfuck. People in Melanation right now don't like that dude.
Is because I was part of CarbonNation, and because y'all followers of Nature Boy. And I just wanted to tell y'all, if y'all motherfucking follower of Nature Boy, don't fucking follow me. Unfucking follow me. Because I don't fucking support that man, that boy, that fucking demon. I don't support him. I don't support his message. I'm not with CarbonNation. For any of the women who ever hit me up in my inbox, who question me, you know, if they asking if they wanna, if they should join CarbonNation, don't fucking do it, okay? Don't do it unless it's coming from formerly known as Mama 9. Don't fucking join CarbonNation. That fucking demon, Nature Boy, that y'all like to fucking call Commander-in-Chief of the fucking Earthplane, that y'all like to fucking call YAH YAH yourself, that like y'all like to fucking call Master Teacher, that young girl Maya, what y'all been posting online, that girl is so fucking uncomfortable. That girl is so uncomfortable, and y'all try to fucking downgrade or downplay her experience of her getting raped, and all y'all weak ass fucking bitches at CarbonNation that try to call me a fucking demon. Y'all laughed at the story, like y'all just laughed, like it's fucking funny that she got raped when she was 18. That shit's not funny. I really resonate. Like when I saw that video, I was just disgusted. And now that I see Reflection Essence's story about her experience there before y'all fucking kicked her out, I'm just disgusted. And people need to really see this side of CarbonNation and Nature Boy. Karma's really coming for y'all. Like, y'all think y'all the fucking Christ? Y'all think that y'all so fucking high and mighty, and y'all like to just have this fucking image of yourselves displayed for the public, but really y'all all full of shit. And it's hard for me to even speak out like this. Everything that fucking CarbonNation displays to the public is just for fucking Nature Boy's ego. It's just for a fucking image. That's all it's for. And y'all keep fucking giving him attention. Y'all keep feeding into it. This man is preying on weak young women, on baby souls. Like, I was one of them. You feel me? And it's just sad. And if my word means anything, you know, if you idolizing these fucking people and you really think that you're higher self, I think you got some fucking psychological issues, because you are your higher self. Karma
a psychological issue because you are your higher self. Your higher self is within you. And I already know Nature Boy and Eliana got me blocked, but I know y'all gonna see this shit. I have no fucking sympathy. Y'all dusty as shit. Like, y'all fucking trying to portray this fucking image to the public, and it disgusts me. Like, it really disgusts me. And it takes a lot for me to get angry, to speak up for myself because I've experienced a lot of abuse growing up. So it's hard for me to even exercise my throat chakra, and that's why I haven't even spoke out about my experience there, because courage is just something that I always struggle with. But after seeing Queen Ase go live with Reflection Essence, as she's calling herself, I'm compelled just to say, like, yo, don't fucking join that fucking cult, don't join that tribe, they ain't about shit.
I'm like, I remember you. Like, I remember you from phase 1. I remember you in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, I remember you. I remember that you were attracted to me and I was attracted to you. I remember that that obviously there were, phase 1 I think it was a mix. I think that there were females there. I know for a fact that I think there were females there and males there on this particular night. You know, the girls, you know, who like girls would come out, the boys who like boys would come out, the trans, you know, community would come out, and we would just party together. And like I said, it's not my intention, or it's not my my purpose to out people. But what I don't like is when a person decides to say something and they're not totally honest. So I feel like, you know, I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I do feel like listen, when you're put in a position of authority, or when you have people's lives in your hands, or, you know, when you are a leader, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to those people who follow you. You have a responsibility to the future people, you know, any future lives that you may hold in your hands. And I just think that, like, when you say, I think I heard you, this is directed specifically to Nature Boy. I'm like, when I hear you say that, you know, that was me in the video with the white boy, or whatever it was you said, you know, or you did a lot of things for money and all of that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And like, I get that. I understand that part. And that may be how it started. But baby, once you got to me, like, I don't know, I can't say what about anybody else. But for Victoria, I didn't pay you. So I'm like, it's like, I'm trying to figure out how you, like, don't make, as a leader, just tell your people and tell the people that's watching these videos, just tell them the truth. Don't try to make an excuse, you know, saying, oh, well, I just did that because I was on hard times and I needed the money, or I wanted the money. No, when you got to me, and matter of fact, it wasn't just me, it was me and my homegirl. And when I tell you my homegirl, I won't say her name, and I say her, but that's a boy. Like, and I'm saying a boy in the context of, there's no way that you can mistake him for a girl. There's no way. Whether he's in drag, there's no way. Anyway, so, in my mind, I'm like, you knew that I was trans, and you knew that, like clearly, I've always looked more like a female than my counterpart, you know, than my friends, some of my friends, but it's like, you knew that was a boy, and you had both of us, and, you know, I'm gonna just say what happened. You performed at phase 1. I don't know what night it was. That's not really important. But you performed at phase 1. I clearly tipped you. You know, I thought that you were attractive, and I don't remember what dialogue was exchanged. However, I know that you wanted me to come back to the dressing room where you guys get dressed at, and you told everybody to get the fuck out the dressing room, that you needed it for a little second, and me and my homeboy / homegirl was in the dressing room with you, and we sucked that dick together, like all bent over and all type of shit. I just like it's just like, be honest, like okay, if I get like some of the straight men, okay, you're gay for pay, and I guess I understand that. But when you have changed, if you have changed your life, like, why be ashamed?
Were you ever one of Natureboy'S wives? So here we go. There was a time when I was there being in CarbonNation, that Flo and I mean, we had been together for like a few, like a month or so, and we just jumped into everything. Like, that's what happens. You just kind of jump into it, which was dope because we're a lot alike, but we were so alike that we saw each other's beautiful sides, which was the same sides, and we also saw the shared areas of growth that we needed to touch on. And I'm young, it's no excuse, but there was a point for 3 days that I was like, okay, well, Flo and I aren't working. For some reason, I allowed the whole group to get into it. We decided, okay, this isn't going to work, because we looked into our astrology, which didn't even say we weren't functional. It just had its things, like every relationship. Of course, you know, you want to grow or you want things to be sunshine and rainbows. And, long, unnecessary story short, I ended up being over there, quote unquote, his wife for 3 days. Now, in those 3 days, I spent, or tried to spend, as much time away as I could. This was weird for me. Like, I've never been somebody to move like that. And I kind of saw that that's, I mean, if you see I keep using the word algorithm, but if you see the cycles of being there, women just kind of gravitate, you know, because he's very intelligent, he's very knowledgeable. But then there's this, I never was attracted to him. So I was just like, what am I doing over here? And then Flo and I were literally going crazy because all we could do was stare at each other and just be miserable. This man was singing John Legend, apparently. Like, not even the fast John Legend songs. Like the, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Was it that one? Was it that one? Was that the one that you were singing in the van?
Oh, no, I was singing, it was so fast.
Look, my baby was going through it, and so was I. So, in all honesty, I did. I got a little sidetracked.
No, it's my fault, 'cause I can't answer you.
Oh, I don't know that one. Maybe it was a upbeat John Legend. Anyways, so yeah, being completely honest and open, I was over there for a few days, and nothing happened. There was no intimacy. There was just longing to be back with Flo.
I joined CarbonNation because I believed in what they believed in. I believed in the mission. I understood everything that he was talking about. And it drove me to leave my life and be on the movement on what he was teaching. And at one point, I thought this man was my husband. You know, I followed him. I was there with the YAH YAH. And I was there when YAH YAH left you and didn't even look back. And I was there with the POCAHONTAS. And I was there when POCAHONTAS left you and she didn't let you see that baby. You understand? I was there for it all, and everybody talks shit about you. Everybody that you thought were your friends, everybody that you thought was your lover, I was there, and I supported you. And I didn't care what no one said. I turned my back on my own family because I supported who you were, regardless if you supported me, right? Because remember, I was the girl that nobody wanted. I was always your second wife, but I always supported you. I understood the mission when you was trying to push every woman to be polygamous. And even now you can't find a woman that will be polygamous and give you multiple wives. You remember that I supported that. You know, I was there supporting the family, cooking, cleaning, making sure everybody was in line and in tune. That's why they can't stand me now. Because I made sure that they did what they were supposed to do to honor you and respect you. So what I'm not going to do is belittle myself and go down to stoop to your level because you feel a certain way or you don't agree with what we're doing or we decided to leave. But you can't ever say when we were there that we never gave our 100%, our support, our encouragement. You understand? So no, I'm not going to sit here and expose you and tell people what you fed into their minds to believe. But what I'm going to tell people is that I love the hell out of you in CarbonNation. And I'm going to keep pushing forward. And I hope y'all do the same. Because you do have a message to give people if they open their hearts and listen. I just got tired. After the whole situation with you lying on me about having HIV and AIDS, I just couldn't do it anymore.
Hi, good morning, sir. My name is Eliana. I work for the consular section of the U.S. Embassy in Nicaragua. I'm calling in regards of your daughter, Velvet Marquez.
Okay.
She's here.
She's at the embassy?
And she's kind.
Okay, what's she trying to do?
So she wants to return to the United States with her daughter.
She have all the paperwork?
We're trying to help her with that.
Okay, tell me what you need.
I'm sorry?
Tell me what you need. Tell me what you need me to do.
Yeah, do you want to talk to her?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to call you back in about 2 minutes because I'm going to call someone on the phone so you can talk to her.
Hello?
And I
and her pops, there's so many levels to it, you know what I mean? And it's like, which level do you choose to resonate with, you know what I mean? And since I'm really working on becoming more higher vibrational and not like gossipy, you know, which there's a difference, you know, like I have to look at it on a metaphysical level. And on the metaphysical level, I see it working itself out beautifully. On a metaphysical level, I see that this had to happen in order for all of us to start watching the spiritual world. And we are all watching the spiritual world right now. We're all watching it. Like all of us. And it had to be in that way. So everybody played their part. Scripted by the all.
A light, be a light, see a light. She Mary Magdalene to his Jesus Christ. No different from a counterpart. That circle of love spell is around their heart. You don't see their two of a kind. I got them losing their mind. Before she accept the L, she'll go left. ELIANA not going out like old Mac. Yellow brick road survivor. I see the play first and go for green velvet home. Cause she can stay. They chose the other side. They wanna be late. Come in and cheeks playing their ass with authority. He the type that sing gay press. I'ma whip your little ass in there, fuck you little bitch ass nigga. That's sexism. Some niggas that play chess with him. Don't confuse us. We in different zones. He calls them cheap. He can make picture loans.
People have 100 mothers. People have 100 mothers.
4 days after my birthday, I was telling people, like, my family, like, yeah, I'm just gonna go on a little trip for my birthday, but anyway, so, I had arrived in Costa Rica on September 16th, and with my passport, a lot of people ask me about, like, the passport deal. Really, it's really easy to do, you know, you just go to the office, fill your application out, pay your money, and then it'll come in, like, 3 weeks. Even if you apply for the 6 to 8 week, standard shipping, it still come to 3 weeks. But anyway, so I got my passport and whatnot. I had left, and really people ask me too, like how did you get money? Cause I have not had a job in like 2 years. Like I have not worked in 2 years, but I had like student loans and stuff like that, and scholarships. So all my money came from when I was in college or whatever. I just took it and left. So that's where I got my money from. A lot of people ask me that too. But so yeah, so I went to Costa Rica. I was originally with this another girl. I had came with a girl named YAH YAH, a lady named YAH YAH or whatever. And so we was together, we was rocking. She was in Virginia and she came to Dallas with me right before we left because it was a hurricane. The hurricane was coming, so she had came to Dallas. And so we had left together, and when we first got there, we was on the Pacific coast. It was cool. The Pacific coast was cool, but it was raining too much. It was raining. I was like, yo, like, I can't be in my tent out here in the rain. And I ain't gonna stunt. When I first came out there, y'all, I was like, I'm finna be out here for free. Ain't finna be paying no rent. And so that's what I set out to do. When I went out there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay for this one rental. I had used Airbnb. I'm gonna pay for this one rental, and then after this, I'm gonna go hiking, find me a little spot, a little tent, set my tent up, and that's gonna be that. It'll be living for free. And when you get out there, it's like, nah, like that's not happening because Costa Rica is set up where it's like we have all the houses, and then outside the house you got all this nature, but like 26% of like their land is like in a reserve, meaning like it's reserved, like it's owned where you can't camp there. It's like a museum type deal. So on my way to Puerto Viejo, I had went to Melanation, and then my experience with Melanation was like it was interesting, like for real, because there was a lot of stuff that happened that I didn't would expect to to happen, and there was a lot of stuff that did happen that I expected to happen. Like, for instance, when I first came there, it was so much love. Like, it was much love. Like, I felt it. It was much love. But then, as the days went by, it was like the love was starting to fade away. And I was like, who are y'all? Like, type deal. Like, real talk. So, the first night I was there, it started to shift because I realized that Nature Boy wanted me to have sex with basically that's what it was. Like, Nature Boy just wanted his dudes to get some twat. And so that's what it was. He was like, basically trying to get me to, have sex with and I was like, no, not happening. Like, that's not happening. Like, I don't even know you, dude. Like, and if I did know you, I'm not the type to first night or, no, it's not happening. But anyway, so I didn't like that. I didn't like how, like, they basically, was putting me on and they was putting arm on me. And even after saying, like, okay, because they were like, yeah, you just be his direct, and y'all should do this and y'all do that. And so even after coming to an agreement, like, no, I'm not going to be his direct, he was still trying to have him to have sex with me. Like, it was weird. I didn't like that at all. I was like, nah, like, y'all tripping, like, for real, like, that's disrespectful. No means no type thing. Like, he wasn't aggressive, like, I'm not an aggressive person. He wasn't, like, on me, but he, like, slid in my bed one night. Like, we was at a hostel, and he, like, laid on my bed, and I was like, I didn't think nothing of it, because I'm like, okay, we friends, and you should know that. So when he came in my bed, and it was more people in the room, and the lights was on, and I had my baby with me, and when he came in my bed, I'm thinking, like, he just laying, like, I didn't think much of it. I really, truly didn't, because it was people in the room, the lights was on, but then EJ was like, she told me, she was like, girl, he tried to have sex, like, he was trying to make his way. I was like, what? And then she hurt my feelings, because I don't want to be that type of person, like, somebody just to have sex with. There was some shit, like, niggas used to do to me when I was here, like, just try to have sex with me. And then she hurt my feelings that even at your higher self, niggas still be on that. Like, I was like, wow, like, it's crazy. I ain't even pick up on it. But, so that was another part I didn't like that in Melanation. Like, they just want the women to just be having sex. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and so another thing I didn't like about Melanation was how they was some of their teachers about discipline, like they be violent for real. They was violent with my baby, like they was hitting on my baby, like they was like, you need to discipline him. They were mad violent. I was like, bro, y'all being violent. I'm like, I asked Nature Boy, I was like, you don't think hitting a baby is violent? He like, no, this discipline. That's how you should discipline him. I was like, no. And even after I was like, no, I don't think, I should discipline him like that. Like, he was like, basically had an attitude about it. And his wives was like, I'm not gonna treat the baby like a baby. He's an adult. I'm gonna treat him like an adult. And I was just like, wow. You talking about a person who still poops in their pants, still don't have their teeth. How you gonna treat somebody who don't even know how to talk like an adult? I was like, okay. And it was like each day they was just saying some weird stuff about I was just like, bro. And so I was there for 2 weeks, and I tried to keep one thing about me, which is a negative and a positive thing. I tried to make stuff work. I'd be like, bro, I'm gonna try to make it work. And there could be a negative and a positive thing about me. And so while I was there, I was trying to make it work, but I can't fake, like, I can't really fake this shit. Like, it was like time for me to go.
The last brother that was on there, he right, man. Right. That man is a boy. He's a whole boy. I've known this shit. I've been on this bid, man. And I mean, y'all call me a snitch, y'all call me a rat. I ain't telling that man. I ain't say nothing. When the shit went down, it went down. You feel what I'm saying? He got me caught up in the arm robbery. I've been doing 10 years off this whole life, 15 shirts. That's what I got. I'm still dealing with it. He's running from this shit. He know what happened. And as soon as he heard I got out, he got the fuck on. He know what's going on. He know what's going on. He know who I am. But I ain't do nothing. I took it. I did the time like a man. You know what I'm saying? I had to do all the time on my own. It's what it is.
So you saying he's running from a robbery that he's going to be in jail for?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he over beat, and he beat his wives. You know what I'm saying? Every woman I had to pull him off of him, man. You know what I'm saying? I was going way back there. We don't call him Nature Boy. It ain't no Bishop, it ain't no Nature Boy. It's Tyson.
Tyson?
Tyson the stripper. Yeah, that's who he is. That's who he is.
Is his name Eligio at all?
Yeah. It's Eligio Bishop, but he goes by Tyson. See, I call him Tyson.
Okay.
That's what I call him. I call him Tyson. You feel me? So, he needs to be, I mean, everything we doing, everything that the brother said just then, you know, it's true. Them facts. You feel what I'm saying? He's running. He ain't got nothing to do. He finds somebody weak. He's get those weak women out there. They take it. They go for it. Them people that's with him, they running for stuff. So, yeah, what you gonna do? But I had ones out there. What you think I was doing? You thinking I was out there applying for jobs? Hell no.
Right.
I had to go do what the hell I had to go do. Or just sit on my ass and twiddle my thumbs.
Right.
So, like I said, if you can get him off the web, you can get him pulled back to the U.S., he's going to have to face reality. Because, like I said, I have to be a man, and I have to sit down and do all my time in Georgia chain gang system.
Wow.
Like a man that made it. That's what I'm saying, man. He ain't take his lick. He ain't take his hit. That's why he's going crazy like that. That's why he's talking the way he's talking. Because he didn't go down and do what I did. He didn't take that step.
Right.
He didn't take that measure.
Wow. You got everybody
like crazy.
Wow too, for real, because I didn't know he was like running because of some robbery.
That's why he talking. That's why he talk crazy. He doing what the fuck he gotta do, man. But he always been that. He always been that way.
Wow.
That ain't nothing new. When he whooped his wife, I know that man for 2 hours. See, the new girls, they knew like that. But, damn, what's her name? MAISHA? MAISHA Evans?
Yeah,
MAISHA Evans. MAISHA, the way he beat her, you know, she has epilepsy.
She's got epilepsy? Oh,
yeah, she has epilepsy. She has seizures.
Oh, wow.
And his first wife, the first one he married, she's in New York to Bean. You know, he was whooping ass. We went out to the Bombers one time. We got kicked out the hotel. Because he gets drunk. That's what happens. He likes to drink. He don't smoke no weed. I ain't never seen him do no coke or no shit like that. But he likes to drink. He has a drinking problem. And he goes crazy. The nigga loses his mind. And he believes that. See, this thought process is with the STDs and the HIV. When he talks like that, because he told me, it was one time I said, we in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta. So his thing was, I was like, you know, I was young. We were young. I'm like, man, I got to go get tested. He came up to my house. I said, man, I got to go tested, man. I said, well, what's up? I said, man, I got to make sure I ain't got that pack. You know, back in them days, it was an epidemic. I'm 34 years old. So in 09, you know, there was a real epidemic going on with the pack, with the HIV, the AIDS. We had friends, we had dancers, we had associates of ours that was dying from HIV and shit. So I'm telling my man, shit, I gotta make sure I got that pack. I'm having sex with women. I gotta make sure. He's like, man, let me tell you something, man, you tripping. That's all in your mind. If you believe you got HIV, you got it. I said, no, nigga. If I go get my blood drawn and them test results come back and they say I got HIV, I got that shit. I can't go for that, man. I'm not gonna go for anything. And he know he couldn't break my mind down like that. He knew that. You know I'm one nigga. If I pull up in Mexico at the border of Texas and find his ass. But I had to ask Allah for forgiveness for that. I really had. It took a lot of praying, man. It took a lot of praying and forgiving. But what I'm seeing online, him playing, what did he say? He said he let his son play with his penis.
You said about the baby?
Yeah, about his son.
Yeah, he was just saying that he let his son play with his penis.
He's playing with his penis after he having sex with his wife.
Yeah, why he lets his kids see him having sex with his, you know, whoever he's having sex with.
You know, the girl looked kind of slow. ELIANA, Velvet, whatever her name is, she looked kind of slow. Looked like, you know, something going on with her.
Yeah, it's a target. That's a target.
I try to get on here as much as possible before they take me off. I was raised on one half underground, like, you know, it was the culture to have all the girls. You know what I'm saying? On one, you know, that was amongst men, you know, how many girls you got. You know what I'm saying? If you got more girls, then yeah. And then on the other hand, there was society, which is your family, which is the structure of your family that you have, that you eventually knew that you're going to have to find one woman, settle down with, and have a life, make a life with her. You You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that we talk about family structure if we're going to talk about building nations, if we're going to talk about ever changing and evolving as a people. We have to talk about the family structure and the nature of humans and how we lie to each other about the nature of humans. Well, the human male, especially the black male, we are oppressed. Now, it's because we're undereducated and the culture that we came out of has told us wrong. Somebody told us wrong, right? I'm so glad I wasn't raised in like society the way most people were, because it gave me the ability to think outside the box. Because when I was 14, I got locked up, and by 16, I went from juvenile prison, and at 16, I was put in adult prison. That's when they started doing that. You know, they started putting like, depending on how you was acting in prison, the prison was getting so packed and juveniles was getting sent to maximum security. And so I was one of those kids when it first started in Jersey. So at 16, 14, I was put in jail. 16, I was put in max security. At 19, I got out. And so when this all happened, this took me away from the colonization of the mind of, you know, being raised as a teenager in society. So I didn't get those high school socializations, you know what I'm saying, in the windows. I didn't get those vibes of being a part of. I was a part of, and looking back now, I'm glad it happened, because now I could say, like, yo, I was raised by men. I was raised around, like gangsters and killers. I was raised around that shit. And I got to get the spirit of masculinity. I got to get the spirit of men. Men, real wild men, like actual men, like not these men out here that's been domesticated and, you know, culturized and colonized and doing whatever it takes to get whatever they need to survive. I'm not talking about the guys that said civilization. I'm talking about the guys that couldn't make it in civilization. I'm talking about the dudes that just could not, you know. And what I realized is more I got older, and more as I aged, I realized, like, yo, these were the dudes that failed at Babylon. Like, the niggas that was locked up just were, you know, not knowingly, but naturally, they were resistant to the system. And so in the system, they try to domesticate you. And the more wild you are in the system, and you're more instinctual as far as, you know, I mean, dudes are locked up because of just having sex. I mean, this dude's locked up because of child support. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not in no way allowed to be a natural wild man. You're not allowed to be that. I mean, it's like animals in the zoo that were born in the zoo. Animals that are born in the zoo think what's going on in the zoo is like normal. You feel what I'm saying? So they you know, if you was to take an animal and put him in his natural environment, that it probably wouldn't know how to survive. And I'm so glad, because what gave me the advantage is that I wasn't socialized through high school. So when I didn't go to high school, I was raised around, you know, outlaws, gangsters, niggas that just could not get that right. They didn't fuck with the system. They were wild. They were very wild. And I look back now, I'm like, damn, I was raised around wild men, like indigenous men that innately just knew, like, yo, I'm not going down with this system. I'm not down with it. I can't conform to society, and I can't get along. I was raised like that, right?
In the Tropic of Cancer, you must turn to nature to get all of your answers. Urgently, why not use your cosmic currency? The Most High Consciousness, the Sun in human form. We're sending out the light code. Our minds we must transform. Do not take this message lightly. It shines ever so brightly. The Most High Consciousness, the Sun in human form, is able to enlighten us and guide us through the storm. If only we would listen and get closer to the sun, become one with nature, then we